This is what happens when a partnership starts to break down. Today's song is Run of the Mill by George Harrison, and it's about Paul McCartney, his relationship to Paul at the end of the Beatles. And it's all about his feelings of isolation within the band and specifically focusing on Paul McCartney.
Everyone has choice when to and not to raise your voices. It's you that decides.
At the beginning of the Let It Be project, George Harrison was back from the US where he'd had an amazing time with other brilliant artists who really recognised his worth. But then he was back in the Beatles and he felt with the two egos of Lennon and McCartney he was being pushed to the side again and wasn't going to get a fair listen with his material. He was writing material up to the standard of Lennon and McCartney, and in particular there was tension growing with Paul McCartney. So he felt overlooked, creatively frustrated, and then he went home and wrote this song after some disagreement, which is captured in the Let It Be documentary and the Get Back docu-series. Instead of writing something angry, he wrote something reflective. It's a beautiful song. Listen to this.
Tomorrow when you rise, another day for you to realize me. Send me down, Ken, as the days stand up on end. You've got me wondering how I lost your friendship, but I see it in your eyes. Though I'm beside you, I can't carry the lane for you.
I'm really struck by the line, tomorrow when you rise, another day for you to realise me or send me down again. And that really strikes to the core of it. George Harrison was not feeling realised or recognised for what he was and what he could bring. Often there's criticism about John Lennon because John Lennon wasn't as involved on the George songs in the studio, but Lennon was very obsessed with Yoko Ono at this time. That was definitely taking a lot of his attention. And George doesn't blame John at all. He puts all his blame on Paul, I think because of their longer term relationship. Plus, he is experiencing the relationship as it is in the moment. And he felt that John did see him and did recognise him and was more open to bringing him in more. I think there's a lot of revisionism around the relationship between the three these days, but I think you have to trust the expression that comes from George Harrison himself. He was living this and he puts squarely the blame on Paul, not just at this time, but later interviews as well. He talks about how Paul's rigidity was what him and John were struggling with. I'll leave the final line with George. At your own made end, with no one but yourself to be offended, it's you that decides.